mo mmileng ola wa Mali.
To see that to dispute it.
Yes.
Yes, I can see it.
Do you agree or disagree?
Le a dumela goba ga le dumele?
Ke dumela gore be idle.
I agree that it was idly.
Remember, sorry. And furthermore, at 1930, the motor vehicle is still idling.
Ka 1930, e bontsha gore koloi e sa duma.
Ke nnete.
That is correct.
All right. The version of accused number 2 is that the first time he was assaulted, he was next to a garage, an engine garage. But he wasn't precisely sure about the name of the garage, but he could see the garage from where he was assaulted.
Molatofatwa wa bobedi o re yena la mathomo ge ne a bethwa o be a le kgauswi le garage le ge ile gore ga a sa gopola leina la gona eupia o be a kgona go bona garage. I am listening.
Umsolo wesibili ke uthi la aqala khona ukushaywa kwakuseduze ke negarage akalikhumbuli ke igama layo kodwa wabona ukuthi kunegarage la ashaywa khona umfakazi uthi ngilalele.
And it is his version that it was an open area because he was not assaulted inside the garage. It was opposite an open area.
Gape yena o re tulo ye webele tulo ye bulegileng gauswi le yona garage ye we a se a bethelwe mo gare mo garage-ing mola mo go tshelwang gona eupia o re gauswi le garage. I am listening.
Ngilaleleke uma uthi ke la ashayelwa khona ke wayengashayelwa khona ke egarage leyo kodwa ke indawo nje evulekile eseduze nayo egarage leyo.
And where he was assaulted at the place which is opposite the garage, they are separated by that Grey Avenue.
O re gape mo a bethilweng gona tulo yewe e mo gauswi le garage yewe e fapantshitswe ke yona tsela ela ya Grey. I am still listening.
Ngisalaleleke uma uthi ke la ashayelwa khona ke kuleyo ndawo ke evulekile ihlukaniswa ke yona ke umgwaqo leyo lowo oyi Grey Avenue.
My Lord, if I may be given time at least to calculate the minutes in which, according to the version of the accused, reflecting from the time in which they stood, I would add 22 minutes. 25, 27, 32, approximately 37 minutes.
Ore e ka tswa e tsere metsotso ye 37. I am listening.
Uma uthi ke lonke konke ke lokho noma kwathatha ke imizuzu ke ewu37 ngisalalele.
And according to his version, that's when he said, when you parked at that place with Sergeant Mapena, that's when Jonathan joined you. After Jonathan, it was Mapumulo in company of Constable Buthelezi with a hard body, a white Nissan hard body.
Organa kowe lena le bela le Mapena ke mo ileng gore Jonathan o ile a fihla a sepela le Maphumulo le Buthelezi a le ka gare ga koloi ya hard body. I am listening.
Uthi ke uma engitshela ke noma engichazela ke umsolo wesibili ukuthi yila khona ke wasefika uJonathan emuva kwalokho ke bafika yena ke uMaphumulo kanye naye ke uButhelezi ehamba ngemoto ke eyi hard body
from 1930 up to 1935. That's when there was a movement Here it reflects that the vehicle had an excess idle, but near Fraser Street, Albemarle, Germiston.
ba re ge go tlogella ka 1930 go iša mola go 1935 ke mo e leng gore koloi ile ya sepela eupša mo e bontšha gore ke excess idling mo mmileng ola wa Fraser mo Alberton.
Ke nnete.
That is correct.
Just a moment.
1930 to 1935 shows that it was idling.
Okay. Lana ke iyatshengisa ke ukuthi ngaye u1930 ukuthi ke imoto iyayiduma khona ke kuseduze kwayo iFraser Albemarle eJermiston.
So you would agree with me that the car was moved from Mali Fairwood Park in Alberton to Fraser Street in Albemarle, Germiston.
Le tlo dumellana le yena ge gore ke nnete gore koloi e tlošitšwe mo mmileng ola wa Mali mo Fairwood Park Alberton e išwa go mmila ola wa Fraser mo Albemarle, Germiston.
Ye ka re bontšha AVL.
Yes, as the AVL reflects.
Kuzovuma ke ukuthi lana ke imoto yasuka ke khona la eMarley Street eFairwood Park eAlberton yase iya ke eFraser Street Albemarle, Germiston. Nanjengoba ke itshengisa ke yona iAVL
1942, back to Collins.
Ka
Ignition off near Collins Street, Fairwood Park, Alberton.
Ka 1942 nako ke mo e leng gore le ile la boela mmileng ola wa Collins Fairwood Park Alberton ke ge koloi e timiwa.
Nnete.
That is correct.
kuyiqiniswa ke ukuthi kubhaliwe la ngo1942 imoto yacishwa ke yase buyela khona ke eCollins Street eFairwood Park Alberton.
Okay. 17 minutes past 8, you start up the motor vehicle at Collins Fairwood Park.
Metsotso
Alberton.
ye lesome šupa ka moraga iri ya seswai ke mo e leng gore mola mmileng wa Collins Fairwood Park Alberton le na le la dumisha koloi gape.
Nnete.
That is correct.
2017 imoto iyadunyiswa futhi ke khona ke eCollins Street Fairwood Park Alberton kuyiqiniswa.
Nnete.
I confirm.
At 22 minutes past 8, the car was driving from Marley Street, and there was an excess idle, but the car was driving at Marley Street.
Ka metsotso e masomepedipedi ka moraga iri ya seswai thapama koloi e be e kgwetša mola mo Marley Street go be go ile gwa ba le gore e be le excess idle.
Nnete.
That is correct.
kuyiqiniswa ukuthi ngaye u2022 ukuthi imoto yayihamba ke eMarley khona ke nalapha kubhalwe khona ke excess idle okusho ukuthi yayiduma ke khona ke eMarley. Yebo ufakazi uyaqinisekisa lokho.
So further in at 2023, the motor vehicle's ignition at Marley Street was off.
Motsotso ka moraga mo be nako e le metsotso e masomepedi tharo ka moraga iri ya seswai thapama mola Marley Street koloi ile ya timiwa.
Nnete.
That is correct.
kuyiqiniswa lokubhaliwe ke lana ukuthi ngo2023 yase icishwa ke imoto khona ke eMarley Street Fairwood Park Alberton.
At 25 past 8, which is 2025, at Marley Street, the car was start up again.
Ka metsotso e masomepedi tlhano moraga iri ya seswai gona mmileng ola wa Mali koloi ile ya dimishwa gape.
Nnete.
That is correct.
kuyiqiniswa ke ukuthi ngaye u2025 imoto yase idunyiswa futhi ke khona eMarley Street Fairwood Park Alberton.
At 8:30, driving the said motor vehicle at Marley Street, Fairwood Park, Alberton, it reflects excess idle, at Mali Street. Do you agree?
metsotso ye masometharo ka moraga iri ya seswai ke ge e le gore koloi yeue ya kgweetswa gona mola Mali Street e bontšha access idle gona mola mmileng wa Mali Street.
Ke nnete?
That is correct.
Kuqiniswa ukuthi ngayo u2030 imoto ke iyahamba khona eMali Street Fairwood Park Albertine iphinde itshengise futhi ke imoto ukuthi iyaduma uaccess idle khona eMali Street Fairwood Park Albertine.
From 8:30 at Mali Street, Fairwood Park, Albertine, up to 9:30, the car was still there, idling excessively at Mali Street, Fairwood Park, Albertine.
Go tlogella metsotso ye masometharo ka moraga iri ya seswai koloi e bentše e le gona mola Mali Street e dira ntho e leng gore ngwetswe access idle go fitlheleleng metsotso ye masometharo ka moraga iri ya senyane gona mo Mali Street.
Ke nnete?
That is correct.
Yebo kuyiqiniso kubhaliwe ke lana ukuthi kusuka ngaye u8:30 khona ke eMali Street kwaze kwayoshaya ke u9:30 sikhuluma ke ngenkathi zasebusuku ukuthi ke imoto iyayisaduma ke ikhona lapho eMali Street.
At 10:10 at Mali Street, Fairwood Park, the car was still there.
metsotso ye lesome ka pele ga iri ya lesome bošigo koloi e be santše le gona mowe Mali Street.
Ke nnete?
That is correct.
Ngayo ke imizuzu eyishumi ngaphambi kwayo ke ngaphambi kwalo ihola leshumi ke ntambama imoto yayisekhona lapho eMali Street. Yebo kunjalo.
Until 10:05
go fitlhelela metsotso ye mehlano ka moraga iri ya lesome.
Ke nnete?
That is correct.
Kwaze kwashaya ke u5:10 kuyiqiniso.
At 10:10, access idle, Fraser Street, Albemarle, Jamestown.
metsotso ye lesome ka moraga iri ya lesome ke mo e leng gore koloi e be setse e le mo mmileng ela wa Fraser mo Albemarle Jamestown.
Ke nnete?
That is correct.
Nokuthi ke ngaye u10:10 ebusuku ke imoto ke isaduma ke noma isa idle ke eFraser Street Albemarle Jamestown.
Will you then confirm that there was a movement of that motor vehicle from Mali Street to Albemarle, to Fraser Street, Albemarle in Jamestown?
le dumelana le ena na gore go ile koloi yewe ile ya shuthishiwa go tloga mo mmileng ola wa Mali go ya mo Fraser.
Ke nnete?
That is correct.
Kuyiqiniso ngizovuma ke ukuthi imoto yase ihamba ke ukusuka ke eMali Street khona ke eFairwood Park Albertine yaya kwistrata iFraser.
At 10:15, access idle back to Mali Street, Fairwood Park, Albertine.
metsotso ye lesomehlano ka moraga iri ya lesome ke mo e leng gore ile ya boela ka kwa ga Mali Street.
Ke nnete?
That is correct.
Nokuthi ke ngaye ke u10:15 imoto ke iyaduma ke ukuthi ke ibuyela khona ke eMali Street Fairwood Park Albertine.
18 minutes past 10, ignition off at Fairwood Park.
metsotso ye lesome seswai ka moraga iri ya lesome koloi ya timiwa gona mo Mali Street Fairwood Park Albertine.
Ke nnete?
That is correct.
Uyiqiniso ke nokuthi ke ngayo ke u22:18 umizuzu ke u18 ngamuva ke ko10 ebusuku yase iqishwa ke imoto eMali Street Fairwood Park Albertine.
At 22:52, the car was start up again at Mali Street, Fairwood Park, Albertine.
metsotso ye seswai ka pele ga iri ya lesometere bošigo ke ge e le gore koloi ya dumišiwa gape gona mo Mali Street.
Ke nnete?
That is correct.
Kuyiqiniso ukuthi ngaye ke u22:52 imoto yaduma futhi ke noma yadunyiswa futhi ke eMali Street Fairwood Park Albertine.
At 22:58, 2 minutes to 11, the car was driving at Mali Street and it reflects an excess idle, and later ignition off.
metsotso ye mebedi ka pele ga iri ya lesometere e bontšha gore koloi e be e kgweetša gona mola Mali Street ya bontšha gape le excess idling ga e fetša ya timiwa.
Maybe for the sake of the record, council keeps on saying at this particular street,
What's that?
at Mali Street. Council keeps on saying the car was at a particular point, but the information is near that particular street, not at that particular street.
Beg your pardon, my lord. I'll put it as it reflects. I just missed the word near Mali Street.
Ba re nako e ka moka ge ntse go bolelwa ka mmila ola wa Mali ba re e kgauswi le mmila ola wa Mali ka mokgwa e tswelelang ka go.
Teleditse.
I am listening.
ngilaleleke umshushisi-ke uthi-ke uqala nje ummeli ukuthi-ke ayibekeke ngale ndlela ebhalwe ngayo lana ngoba ummeli uthi kwistrata esithize kodwa lana kubhalwe ukuthi eduze nestrata esithize.
At 11:05 at night, there was a startup of a motor vehicle, Mali Street.
Metsotso e metlhano ka moraga iri ya lesometere ke mo e leng gore koloi ile ya dumišiwa gape kgauswi le mmila wola wa Mali.
Nnete.
That is correct.
Kuyiqiniso-ke ukuthi-ke imihlanu imizuzu-ke libumbene elashumi nanye-ke ntambama ihora imoto idunyisiwe futhi-ke eduze nestrada imali khona eFairwood Park e-Albertine.
At 11:10 at near Mali Street, there was an excess idle.
Metsotso e lesome ka moraga iri ya lesometere gona mola kgauswi le mmila wa Mali koloi ile ya duma gape.
Nnete.
That is correct.
Nokuthi-ke iyishumi-ke imizuzu libumbene-ke elashumi nanye-ke ntambama imoto idunyiswa futhi-ke khona eduze nasemali eFairwood Park e-Albertine.
11:15, Mali Street, excess idle.
Metsotso ya lesometlhano ka moraga iri ya lesometere bošigo ke ge e le gore koloi gape e tswela pele ya duma gona mo kgauswi le mmila ola wa Mali.
Nnete.
That is correct.
Kuyiqiniso kubhaliwe-ke lana ngo-23:15 ukuthi imoto iyaduma-ke khona-ke eduze nestrada imali khona eFairwood Park e-Albertine.
Same applies to 20:11 and 25:11.
Le ka metsotso ye masomepedi ka mora iri ya lesometere le metsotso ye masomepeditlhano ka moraga iri ya lesome koloi e bentse e duma gona mmileng ola wa Mali.
Nnete.
That is correct, my lord.
Kanjalo-ke ngo-20:11 kanye no-25:11 isaduma-ke imoto khona lapho eduze nemali street.
11:07, the ignition off.
Metsotso ye masomepedi šupa ka moraga iri ya lesometere ke ge koloi e timiwa.
Nnete.
That is correct.
Nokuthi-ke ngayo-ke imizuzu ewu-27 emuva-ke ko-11 imoto-ke iyacishwa.
12 midnight, start up the motor vehicle
Metsotso ye
near Mali Street.
ye lesome nne ka mora bošigo gare ke ge e le gore gona mo mmileng ola wa Mali koloi ya dumišwa gape.
Nnete.
That is correct.
Imizuzu ewu-14-ke libumbene-ke elashumi nambili ihora imoto iyadunyiswa futhi eduze naso istrada imali eFairwood Park.
At 12 midnight, excess idle near Mali Street.
Metsotso ye lesome senyane ka moraga bošigo gare ke ge e le gore koloi ya duma gape gona kgauswi le mmila ola wa Mali mo Fairwood Park ka di 19 ja June 2020.
19 June. I said, oh, sorry. Hey. Sorry. Sorry, process.
le a dumela go ba ga le dumele.
Ke a dumela e šetše letšatši le lengwe.
Yes, I can confirm as it was now on the next day, my lord.
Ngiyavuma-ke ukuthi ngayo-ke le mizuzu-ke ewu-19 emuva-ke wakhe u-12-ke ukuthi imoto-ke manje-ke isiyahamba-ke chazwa-ke nedate-ke yazo iyi-19 lezo zikajuni-ke ngayo-2020 nanjengoba kwakuse elinye-ke ilanga manje.
At 23 minutes past 12, the car is driving near Mali. Is it driving? It reflects driving Mali Street. Near Mali Street.
Metsotso e masomepedi tharo ka moraga bošego gare koloi e bontšha e le gore ya kgwetša gona kgauswi le Mali Street, Fairwood Park, Albert.
Ke nnete.
That is correct.
Nokuthi-ke ngayo-ke u-23 yeah imizuzu ewu-23 emuva kwakhe-ke u-12 imoto isiyahamba-ke khona eduze nasemali street.
I wish you to please to note this one before I proceed.
Ba re ba kgopela gore lena le ele tlhoko ye ka pela ga gore ba tswele pele.
At all these times, Mali, Collins Street, Fraser Street, movement from Alba Mali, Jimiston to Fairwood Park, Albertine. At all these times that have placed before this honorable court's record, where is the escort?
Ba re ka dinako tše ka moka tše ntše ba di bolela magareng ga mmila ola wa Mali, Collins le Fraser le le mola Fairwood Park le Albemarle, Jamestown. Batho ba le ba be bentše ba le thuša ba le lateletše bona ba be ba le kae?
Ba ntše ba le gona.
They were present.
Kumele ufisa ukwazi-ke ukuthi ngazo zonke le y'nkathi ayifundile ayichazile lana le ndawo ezahlukile-ke abo-Mali, abo-Fraser, abo-Collins, zonke nje le ndawo ey'fundiwe lana ukuthi laba ababeniphelezela-ke phecelezi-ke i-escort babe kuphi bona-ke pendule ukuthi babe khona.
If those you said they were present, do you mean Jonathan, Buthelezi, Maphumulo, the late Mabena, and yourself, including accused number 2?
Le ra gore le bolela ka Jonathan o be a le gona, Buthelezi o be a le gona, Maphumulo o be a le gona le mohu a moya wa go tswele pele go robala ka khutso Mabena le yena o be a le gona le molatofatšwa a ntše a le gona.
Nnete.
That is correct, I confirm, my lord.
Mangisho-ke ukuthi babe khona-ke ngisho-ke yena-ke uJonathan uMabena ongase usewashona-ke uButhelezi uMaphumulo mina-ke kanye futhi naye-ke umsolo.
And at that time,
I'm sorry, my lord, as the court pleases. It appears that counsel and the witness might be at purposes, my lord, at cross purposes, because the counsel is talking about the time when they were coming from Carltonville, going back to Pretoria, and it appears that the witness now thinks that is referring to the trip to Morocco. If counsel can just clarify that to avoid misunderstanding.
Yes, Mr. Meyiwa.
my lord, I've made it clear that at the time when they were at Mali Street, Collins Street, and Fraser Street, I did not mention anything about Morocco. I didn't speak about Pretoria. Not. I was referring at all these times that are recorded according to this AVL. The witness has confirmed that they were escorted by the persons that he has confirmed on that night.
Sir, what's your answer?
Karabo ya lena e reng ge ba re ge nakwela lebentšhele le mo Mali le Collins lentše le koloi e duma nako ewe ka moka ba bentše ba le gona bo Jonathan bo Buthelezi le ba bangwe ga senke ba bolele ka Moroka ga senke ba bolele ka Pitori ba bolela ka nakwela le bentšhele le mo gauswi le mmila ola wa Mali.
Ba tle ba re go itša gona mo tšatšile.
They came and found us there.
Ba tšwa le rena go tloga Carltonville ba seo.
they did not come with us from Carltonville, as they were not there in Carltonville.
Laba ke ekhulunywa ngabo ke laba ebakuyibona ke ababesiphelezela ke phecelezeke ababesescorta ke ukuthi bona ke basithola kuzona le ndawo lezi ezishiwo ezichaziwe ke lana umeli aboma Fraser aboma Mali aboma Collins khona lapho abezanga nathi ke noma abahambanga nathi ukusuka eCarltonville babengekho bona eCarltonville.
Thank you. That is consistent with the version of accused number 2 when he said, upon your arrival at a place next to a particular filling station, Jonathan arrived later on, joined by Mapumulo and Futeles. That is consistent with the testimony that you just confirmed in court. Is that so, sir?
Barisel sibulela sia tshwana le se sibulelwang ke molatefatwa gore yena re ne le motulong yela ke mo ileng gore Jonathan Buthelezi le Mapholobo ba ile ba fihla ba re dia tshwana le tse di boletsweng ke yena ke nnete na. That is correct.
Lokho kushoyo ke uyahambisana ke nalokho okushiwo uyena ke umsolo wesibili ukuthi yebo ke ila khona ke uJonathan uButhelezi noMaphumulo bafika khona ke uthi yebo uqiniso lokho.
And what is further confirming the version of accused number 2 is that there was a garage, there was a petrol station or a filling station. That is consistent with the version of accused number 2. Do you agree?
Barantwe mo gape le gore isibishana le dilo tse le gore molatofatwa wa bobedi o ba boditse tsona ke gore bogobe mo kgauswi gana mo we gobe go na le petrol station le yona garage le ya dumela.
engine garage very mo go yona.
That is correct. There is a engine garage where we were.
Futhi ke lokho kuphinde futhi kuhambisana ke nalokho kushiwo yena umsolo wesibili ukuthi lokho kwenzeka ke kwindawo ke ekune garage khona ke fakazi yebo ne garage ke engine la esasikhona.
From that time up to the time when I was about to take you on when you were leaving, but up to 0023, there's only thing that you are disputing is that accused number 2 was not assaulted by the police. That's the only thing that you can dispute now. Do you agree?
Bare dilo tse ka moka tse be ba di boletse ka pele ga gore ba botse potšišo bare lena le a di dumela gore molatofatwa le be lena le ena koloi bo mabe bo Jonathan ba le fitlhetse mola selo se se tere se ileng gore lena le fapana le sona ke se sa gore molatofatwa o bethilwe ke nnete gore lena le fapana le seo
ya go betha ona a ke dumele ke gana.
I disagree that the accused was assaulted, my lord.
Kubona konke ke ngichazile kona ke lokhu engikushoyo kwena ukuthi ke bafika ukuthi umsola naye uyakusho ke nani se garage bafika oJonathan abo Maphumulo abo Buthelezi lokho uyavumelana nabo into ongavumelani nayo ukuthi umsola washaya eyokuthi washaywa ke yona ke cha ngiyayiphikisa.
So those hours, minutes, seconds that were spent at that particular place, what were you actually doing?
Biale nako yewe di iri metsotswana elena le be le dutse tulong yewe le be le diraine
with those officers
le maphodisa auwe. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to explain.
Manje ke lesisikhathi ke lamahora lamaninjana futhi ke nalemizuzu ke enachitha ke lapho nanenzani. Ngiyabonga ukuthi unginikeze ithuba leli lokuthi ngichaze.
please.
Eloko pola mosagare ona le more yeme sa sol garage ke be ke cheka mabili aka re sa ya kwa Carltonville eloko pola ke buditse byalo.
Sorry, my lord.
If you would remember.
Sorry, my lord, to interject. May I confine this witness specifically at Fairwood Park, not at, that's why I did not canvass anything in relation to what happened at Carltonville, Western area and so forth. My main concern, the explanation that I'm expecting from you, is about your presence in Albemarle, your presence in Fairwood Park, and what were you doing at that particular spot?
Mr. Gomezulu, let the witness explain. He actually thanks you. He says, thank you for giving me the opportunity to explain.
Yeah.
Have you heard people telling stories? Long ago, there was an old man with 6 teeth and a long beard.
Yes.
And Mr. Mnisi will say, in the past, there was this gentleman who told stories. So let's hear what he wants to say.
Bialere khoro e re le ka tswela pele le tlhaloshe le ge e le gore ntate Mngomezulu o be a sa nyake gore le tlhaloshe o ba nyaka gore le bolele fela ka tsela tša mmadi fela khoro e re le fenako lena le re botse nnonwane ya lena
ka ge tšetše ke boletse ke rile nako re saya Carltonville ke tsene garage ka checka mabile yaka
As I've explained,
nako re saya ka bo 1988
as I've explained that in the morning, whilst we were still driving to Carltonville, I went into a petrol station to check my wheels,
bese ngichazileke ngaphambilini ukuthi ke
my tires, my lord.
ngichazileke ngaphambilini ukuthi ke mangiphuma ke khona eCarltonville ukuthi sengizohamba ke ngangena ke kule garage ke la engangiyobheka khona ke isimo ke samasondo emoto engihamba ngayo.
well re re boa re feta the Glen Mall mo ka re Komaro somewhere there.
Now, as we were coming back, passing the Glen Mall at or near Komaro,
Uma sesibuya ke sindlula ke lana ke kunenqanqathela izitolo khona ke the Glen abayibiza ngokuthi ke kuse the Glen Komaro noma eduze kwase Komaro.
Umeka ba boleye ga re ya shikinya ga mabile gape.
I felt that the motor vehicle was now not balanced on its tires.
Ngase ngizwa ke ukuthi ke ayikho ke ibalance kwimoto ke kuma sondo ayo.
Omega sepela eketse ke tlo join N3 ke tlogela Bloemfontein tlogela eMalahleni.
I proceeded, and when I joined the N3, leaving the Emalahleni route,
Mase ngizohlangana noma sengihlangana ke nayo N3 ngishiya ke lena ke eya eMalahleni.
Ka kwa inga mushi mo mabiling.
I felt that there was a smell of some smoke.
Ngezwa ke ukuthi kwakunalo phunga ke le smoke ke eliphuma kuona ke amasondo.
Bilo ka re I fela ke manje.
And the vehicle was now losing its power.
Nokuthi ke manje ke aseyaphela ke manje ukuthi imoto lena ukuthi amandla khona kuyona imoto.
Omega rapelecha ke fitla mo off ramp ya fel boots ya ke ka so ke fenya o tsena ka garage engine gona mo Albertine.
I forced the vehicle to proceed, and when we got to an off ramp, which I cannot recall which one is it, as we were now entering, whether is it Fairwood Park in Albertine.
Kodwa ke imoto lena ngase ngiphoqa ukuthi ke iqhubekeke noma ke iye phambili ke sayofica ke kunale off ramp ke engasayikhumbuli kahle ke noma kuse Fairwood yini khona Albertine.
Omega ke phone brigadier ginda ke brigadier go le mpha ba thatanyana ba ke tlotsena mo garage engine ya gausu mo.
That's when I contacted Brigadier Gininda, informing the brigadier that the vehicle was now giving me problems. However, I will go into the engine filling station.
Ngase ke ngikhumana naye ke ubrigadier uGininda ngimtshela ke ukuthi imoto lena ingipha inkinga ke kodwa ke ngizongena kule garage ke engibonayo noma kule garage ke yakwa engine.
Oma le phone leng bo Jonathan le bo Buthelezi ba tle ba le shireletse le memo.
And he said I should call Jonathan Buthelezi and others so that they will come and cover us up as we are standing at that place.
Wase engazisa-ke noma engitshela-ke ukuthi ase ngixhumana-ke noma ngishayele ucingo-ke laba abashiwo-ke aboJonathan abobuthelezi-ke ukuthi bayeze babe khona-ke bazosilekelela-ke nanjengoma simile kuleyo ndawo.
Sergeant Mabena will have a phone.
And even Sergeant Mabena contacted them.
Kanti naye-ke uSergeant Mabena waxhumana nabo noma wabashayela ucingo.
And when I went into the garage, I stopped
Engine garage.
at the engine garage.
Masengena khona-ke egarage lapho ku-engine garage ngema khona.
When
When I alighted the vehicle and looked around the vehicle, there was some smoke that was coming from the front brakes.
Nokuthi-ke uma sengiphuma kuyona-ke imoto lena uma ngibheka-ke kuma-brakes angaphambili-ke kuthiwa kunesmoke lesasiphuma khona lapho-ke.
And on the dashboard, it reflected a oil light.
Noma ubheka-ke lana-ke kwi-dashboard ubona-ke ukuthi-ke ikhombisa-ke i-light noma isibane-ke se-oil.
And
indeed, Jonathan and his crew arrived as we could not be at the garage on our own without any backup, as we were in a company of an accused person.
Ngempela uJonathan kanye nabanye-ke bafika-ke khona lapho nanjengokuthi-ke sasingeke-ke sime-ke egaraji ebusuku-ke futhi-ke sihamba nomsolo noma-ke ummangalelo.
And again, that type of a motor vehicle, a Toyota Fortuner, it's one of the vehicles that is targeted for car hijacking or car theft.
Futhi-ke leyo moto-ke esasihamba ngayo kuyi-Toyota Fortuner-ke imoto-ke ephuma kabi-ke ebhekwe-ke ngamehlo abayifunayo ngokuthi-ke uma bethatha imoto noma-ke i-hijacking.
And as you saw that I was igniting it and stopping it,
nanjengoba ubona-ke ngokwalombhalo-ke noma ngokwalombiko-ke ngokwandlela-ke obungibuza ngayo ukuthi imoto ibihamba ime ngidumisa ngiphinde ngiyicishe futhi.
when I opened the bonnet, I found that my oil was low.
Uma sengiyovula-ke ngaphambili-ke lokubizwa ngokuthi-ke ibonnethi-ke ngathola-ke ukuthi-ke i-oil yami-ke isenzansi.
As I had oil at all the times in the vehicle, I filled up the engine with oil.
Nanjengoba ngazo zonke-ke iy'nkathi i-oil-ke yayihlezi ikhona-ke emotweni ngase ngiyithela-ke kuyona i-engine.
I ignited the vehicle again.
Ngase ngiyidumisa futhi imoto.
And I tried driving the vehicle a bit, but the wheels were already stiff. They could not move back and forth.
Ngathi-ke ngiyayihambisa nje kancane-ke kodwa kwatholakala-ke ukuthi-ke amasondo-ke manje aye ngavumi-ke ukuthi-ke aye phambili nasemuva.
That is where you see that I had switched it off for quite some time for it to cool off.
Ingakho-ke ubona-ke ngokwalombiko-ke ukuthi kunala khona-ke engayicisha-ke isikhathi ukuthi-ke ithi-ke ukwehla.
Around garage as I do hold the garage
And the streets that you are referring to, they could be around where the garage is situated, because that filling station, if I am not mistaken, it is between 3 streets.
Futhi ke le itrada ongibuze ngazo ke sikhulula ke ummeli ubuze ngaboma Mali ubuze ngaboma Fraser ngaboma Collins ukuthi lezo itrada lezo ke azikho kude nendawo nala igarage ikhona ke uma ngikhumbula kahle noma uma ngenzi ifutha ke igarage ke ngathi nje ngale kweyitrada eziwu3
Alwale bo shitele bo shiro ara khona lo ka hwetsa thusho ya di mechanic ba rena ba sepodisa.
And as it was already at night, we were unable to get assistance from our mechanics from the police division.
Nanje ngoba kwakusebusuku ke sasingekho kwisimo ke sokuthi sasingathola ke uncedo noma usizo bona ke abo mechanic basemaphoyiseni.
So really mo actually ke bo Jonathan or ke bo Telezi ba fonela mechanic wa mathula charging.
Therefore, whilst we were still there, I'm not sure whether it was Jonathan or Telezi who called a mechanic who was working independently.
Ngaleso sikhathi sise lapho ke ngisakhumbula ukuthi Telezi uJonathan owafonela ke umechanic oyisebenzelayo.
Ome sala atla gole unyako bleed wa 20 inch moya iheme.
And that mechanic came and he diagnosed the vehicle and said that vehicle needs to be bleeded as there is some air that needs to be removed from the brakes.
Wafika ngempela ke wafika ke wayidiagnose ke noma wayibheka ke washo ke ukuthi kwakunomoya ke kwakumele ukuthi ke ukhishwe kuma brakes.
Uyibone ayidlana kwetele leso. Eka kana polisanya go bona rena e tla khona go sepela or bianga ya aitla gore a gore mechanic le aitlena kwetele nyana. So then remove around the go wanna remove around the strategy. Strategy I don't no ba khautsela khausi le garage.
Now as you see the vehicle idling for some time, it was when we were trying to move it around to see if it would be able to move further. And even as we were driving around those streets, the streets are nearby each other. That is where we were trying to see if the vehicle will be able to proceed.
Na njengoba ke ubona ke ngokwawo umbiko lona ke kunesikhathi lapho na ke imoto iduma isikhathi ke eside ila khona ke ayethi ke umechanic ke ayibheke khona ke isimo sayo imoto futhi ke sihamba kuzona lezi itrada leziyana ke oyichazile ke oyifundile khona lana ngoba lezi itrada iyitrado eyisondelene kwakubhekwa khona lokho ke ukuthi imoto manje ikusiphi isimo.
And whilst we were still there, we bought food and ate.
Sisekhona lapho ke ila ekwathengwa khona ke ukudla sasesidla.
Ntanzi aramulebala lena ujelele rena.
We did not forget Mr. Ntanzi as we ate. He also ate with us.
Azange simkhohlweke uNtanzi ngaleso sikhathi ke naye ke ayichaphela wadla nathi.
Well, ubethilwe akuzona akahlalosetsa khoro ubethile jwang kae ke sa mmona.
When he says he was assaulted, I do not know. Maybe he can explain it to the court on where was he assaulted and when was he assaulted, as I did not see him being assaulted, my lord.
Manje ke uma ethi ke bambamba bamiyeka ke engizofisa ukuthi ke ayichazeleke lenkantolo ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani kwenzeka kuphi mina ngingazange ngikubone lokho.
Sorry, I don't want to repeat evidence, but as I'm listening, is the sergeant saying he would be happy? He's not supposed to ask questions, by the way, but his evidence is how, when, and how. Just are you with me?
I'm with you,
because they just mentioned when and where. They don't mention how. Who doesn't mention how is the interpreter. Am I right, sir?
I'm getting lost now.
Bametile Juang Kai Wabon Go Kai Juang. The interpreter just left out how Juang.
As the court places,
I mean, if you insist, you did say that, you can play the record.
I can move, my lord.
Hey, are you doing the hand?
I did not hear it properly, my lord. However, as an interpreter myself, as the court says, I pleased as it pleased the court, my lord.
Uthi ke umbuzo uthi ke noma ushilo kufakaza ukuthi uma ukuthi ke uNtanzi uthi bamshaya kuphi nendawo bamshaya kanjani bamshaya ngasiphi isikhathi.
Okay, yeah, fine.
Are you done?
Le feditše go tlhaloša.
Gomme ka le lebeletseng tše tima e tšhuma gape gampho be re sa ilokiša gore re be re kgone go sepela ka yona go fitlhela ge le gore e ba maemong a bokaone.
And as you saw that it was switching on and off, and we were trying to that is the time when we were trying to fix it to see if we will be able to drive with that vehicle until it got into a better state.
Nanje ngoba ubona ke lana ngoba ngibikwa ukuthi imoto yayicishwa ke idunyiswe ke imoto iidleke ukuthi leso sikhathi leso ke ilapho na ke sasibheka isimo ke semoto baze isikhathi ke la ifinyelela lapho na ukuthi sibone ukuthi ikusimo esingcono ke manje ukuthi sesingaqhubeka kahambe ngayo.
Feditše.
I am done.
Remember when my colleague for the state asked you from the inception of your examination as about overspeeding, you told the court that the car was from service, that power.
Le sa gopola ge ne motšhotšhisi a le botšiša ka nako e la ge be le tshetše lebelo gore lena le ile la re koloi e be e tšwa servicing gape e be e na le maatla. That is correct.
Akuyiqiniso ngishilo ke uma ngishushiswe ngibuza ke nkathi ke ethi ke kubhakiwe la ukuthi ngayiqa isivinini ukuthi ke ngikhulu ngishilo ukuthi imoto yayibuya kwi service inamandla
From Protea, sorry man, why do I like Protea? From Pretoria North to Carltonville, you never encountered such a problem. Do you agree?
Tlogeleng Pretoria North o fitlhella Carltonville ga se nke la ba le bothata boo.
Le gopola botse ke le re eme sa sol garage ke checka mabili ya tsona le nkwele na.
If you recall, I do not know if you heard me when I said we stopped at Sasol Garage as I was checking my wheels.
Angazi ke yaqhubeka kumele athi ke ukusuka ke ePretoria nofika ke Carltonville imoto lena ke inkinga enjalo ayikaze ibe khona angazi noma ukuthi ungizwile yini uma ngisho ukuthi ke kunenkathi la ngangena khona ke eSasol ngiyobheka ke amasondo emoto.
I heard you very well, but according to what you testifying about now, that means the condition aggravated when you approach N3.
Ba re ba le kwele ga botse jwalo ka ga lena le tlhaloša gora gore seemo seo se ile sa ba sa feletša setse le gore se feteletše ge le fihla go N3.
Nka e fetola ka mokgwa koloi swana le motho le yona e na le bolwetse.
May I respond in this way? A vehicle, it's like a person, it also has its own illnesses.
Ingabe lokhu kusho ukuthi ke manje isimo siye siba qayike sayo imoto lena uma manje isiyongena ke kuthela wayeka lo N3 angikusho ke noma ngichaze ngalendlela ke ukuthi imoto yafana ke nayo nomuntu nayo ke inazo inkinga zayo noma ke ungaphatheki kahle kwayo.
Alright.
O ka re wena go le mo le gono gore go lebetse bjalo Ntate Mgomezi wa lo thoma tlhakatlhakane le gore maybe maabane o tswa doctor ya ga gwarawa e tla khote Ntate Mgomezi ka la botlhano ka re go lwala o ka lo tlhakatlhakana o ntse o tsama gona.
It is possible that as you are standing here in court in a good condition and it happens that you just complicate as you were not present on Friday and your doctor had said you should come, then you just complicate whilst we are still looking at you.
Angisho ke ngichaze ngalendlela ke kuzofana ke nawe lapho ngomezulu ngolehlano ke ubungekho khona lana uhambile ke wayebona udokotela wakho vumeleke athi cha ungeze mhlawumbe la emsebenzini mase kubuka thina sibhekeke sibone ukuthi cha isimo sakho ke siyasibabucayi noma ke asibi ngcono.
Ke ka mogopolo ye nne dirileng ka wona.
And that is what happened to us with that vehicle as well.
ilokho okwenzeka kuthina ke ngaleyo moto leyo.
le kwisha hore koloi ke yone be re shumisha kudu o feta dikoloi tse dingwe mo molatong e re phenya.
Please also understand further that this vehicle, we used it mostly as we were investigating in this matter more than other cars.
Okunye futhi ofaneleke ukukhumbuleke ukuthi imoto lena esikhuluma ngayo lana iyona ke imoto esasiyisebenzisa ke kakhulu ngeyona ndlela ke ukudlula ke ezinye imoto ukuphenya ke udaba lolu oluphambi kwenkantolo noma ke ikala leli eliphambi kwenkantolo njengamanje.
Is that all, Mr.?
Yes.
Definitely, yes.
So, you said you bought food and what? The drinks that you bought?
Le rekile dijo le eng le nwele eng.
Dijo re sepola le metsi le cold drink gore re kgone go tsena ga botse mane.
Whenever we buy food, we would also buy cold drink and water so that we would digest them properly.
Make uthenga ukudla ke make sithenga ke ukudla ke sokuthenga ke namanzi noma sikuthenge ke nephuzo idrink ke sokwazi ke ukuthi ukudla ke lokhu kwehle noma ngeze kahle.
Do you remember that at that time, from the 1st of June 2020 to the 17th of August 2020, the country was on lockdown?
Le sa go pla gore go tlogelleng ka di 1 tša June 2020 go ya go di 1 tša August June 2020 re be re na le seemo sela sa lockdown.
Ya gopola.
Yes, I do remember.
Ngiyakhumbula ke ukuthi ngazo ke e1 lezo ke zika Nhlangulana ke kuyena u2020 kuyofica ke kwi1 zapheke unqwaba kuyena u2020 ukuthi sasibhekene ke nalesiya simo ke ababesibiza ngokuthi ke iyona ilockdown.
It was level 3, I can call it level 3, but it entailed that there was a curfew where people were not expected to move, were under lockdown.
Bare re be re le go level 3 mo e leng gore go be go na le curfew gore batho ba seke ba sepela ka nako ye rileng jwalo ka ga re be re le ka fase ga lockdown.
Do you remember that?
Le sa gopola se
E go gopola botse e be e se ka monka batho ba ile gore ba ka se kgone go move nako e.
If I remember very well, it was not everyone that was not allowed to move.
Uthi ke ummeli umemchazela ke uma ekhumbula kahle ke ummeli ngaleso sikhathi kwaku level 3 la abantu babengavumelekile ke khona ukuthi ke umuntu ke bahambe asuke endaweni ethize aye kwenye. Umephendula ke uSergeant uthi kwakungathi uma ekhumbula kahle kwakungasibona bonke abantu ababenqatshelwa noma ababevinjiwe ukuthi bangahamba.
Let us not dwell much on this story because I can tell you now you are making this story for yourself. Let me just put your version, your testimony actually. Your testimony, Buthelez's testimony, Jonathan's testimony. All of you, you denied that you have ever been next to an engine garage. They all denied having escorted you from engine garage, but they only escorted you to Moroka police station. This is just a total fabrication of what you're saying.
Bar tabela ya lockdown re ska tsena kudu go yona bar botlhatsi ba lena ba Jonathan ba Buthelezi le maphodisa mang ba re ba ganne gore ga senke ba ba kgauswi le engine garage ba ganne gore ga senke ba le latela go ya ka kwa. Did you also mention Moroka police station? Bar bona ba ile le lena fela Moroka police station.
ngifisa ke ukusho lokhu kuwena ukuthi ke asingaqali kakhulu ke kulo daba ke lockdown into nje wena ke ozakhela yona leyo ke kodwa ke phakathi kwakho ufakazi bakho uJonathan ke ubuthelezi ke bona ke banqabile nje ukuthi bahlangana nani ke engine garage nokuthi ke ukusuka lapho ke bahamba nani bane escorta ukuphela bakushoyo ke ukuthi la abanisa khona ke bane escortela khona kuseMoroka
yo go polabotse pala o fetola mo go polabotse.
If I remember very well,
la le mpushitse ka ere ya Moroka le tjatsi le ba la kana la le hola sa kana no bolela ka lona ke la mathomo fa o hlatse ka lona.
you only asked me about when we were going to Moroka police station. This day that you are referring to, it is my first time that I am testifying on today.
Mangikhumbula kahle ke mana nimbuza ke nangibuza ke ngeMoroka ukuthi manje ke simbuze ke ngaleli langa leli ombuza ngalo ke manje ihlandla lokuqala ke lelo kwenzeka lokho.
Must I proceed?
Yes.
Yes, you may.
The evidence of the 18th of June 2020 was brought to the attention of this court today. You had an ample chance to testify about this day of the 18th of June 2020. But let me just leave it. I'll leave it for argument. For the sake of progress,
Barbotlhatsi bo ba letšatši le la di 18 tša June 2020 bo hlageletše mmamotla fela bona ba re ba tla e lesa e tla re ge ba bakišana ke mo e leng gore ba tla ba e bolela gane jwale ba re e ka re tla re tšwelela pele.
Angisho nje lokhu kuwena-ke ukuthi lo bufakazi lobu-ke balo-ke ilanga leli-ke la kwakungazo kwakunge-18 zakhe-ke uNhlangulana u-2020 ukuthi wawunesikhathi esiningi nje isikhathi esanele ukuthi-ke ungakhuluma ngakho kodwa-ke ukwenze namuhla lokho kodwa-ke uma senza izethulo zethu-ke ila engisozoliveza khona-ke lolo daba lolo.
Bona mngomezulu ka di nako go bolela gore re ya Moroka o butse ga o bethilwe ra tsena kae ra kae a sang go butsa ka tšatši la lekgono be go fetlana tšatši leo.
Mr. Ngomezulu, when you asked me about the trip to Moroka, you had specified that he was assaulted at certain places. You did not ask about this day that you are referring to about today.
Uma-ke Mr. Ngomezulu wawungibuza-ke noma-ke ukhuluma nami-ke mayelana nodaba-ke lwaseMoroka owangitshela kona-ke ukuthi washaywa-ke eshayelwa kuyindawo ey'thize awukaze nje lokotho-ke ukhulume-ke ngalolu daba noma ngaleli langa leli ongibuza ngalo namuhla.
thank you. Are you done, sir?
Yes, I am done.
That's why I said I'll leave it for argument because the records will speak for itself.
Ba re ke ka mo e leng gore bona ba re ba tla ba e lesa eo e ba tla ba boledišana ka yona re se ba tlo tswalela dipoledišano. I am listening.
Let's move on. 2023 midnight. Sorry. Yes, I'm still at MM2.
Ba re ba sa le go bona botlhatsi bola ba MM2 page.
What page is that? On page 31.
No, page 31.
Do you see that?
I am still looking for it.
Can you repeat the time, Mr. Ngomezulu?
It's 00223. 0032, sorry. Here it's written 23, sorry.
Page 32.
Page 32, sorry.
Okay.
0023. I was confusing the
3.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yeah, bon.
Yes, I can see it.
Page 32. Page 32. All right. You were now driving, joining N3.
Ke nako e le be le kgweetša le tsena go mmila wa N3. That is correct.
Driving.
Naye u-0023 siyahamba-ke manje noma imoto iyahamba sijoyina-ke u-N3.
Driving near Albemarle Freeway, Albemarle
Lekgweetša
Germiston.
kgauswi le Albemarle Germiston. That is correct.
Uyiqiniso-ke ukuthi sasihamba-ke kuyona-ke noma-ke Albemarle noma eduze entry freeway Albemarle eGermiston.
Are you driving with the escort?
Lebe le sepela le ba le ba be ba le thusha ba be ba le lateletse.
No, re arogane mo le go shetološe go robela Pretoria.
No, we had parted ways as it was at night and we were going back to Pretoria.
Sasingahambi-ke nalabo ababesiphelezela-ke noma-ke babesi-escorta-ke ngoba-ke saye iy'ndlela zethu-ke noma zaphambana-ke ngoba-ke manje kwakusebusuku-ke sibuyela ePitoli.
Before you proceed, there's something I just forget to ask you, but it's just a simple thing. Did Mr. Ntanzi, or accused number 2, have his watch on that day?
Did he have his watch?
Did he have his watch?
Ba re
His watch.
ntwe nngwe e botlhokwa e leng gore ba lebala go e botsisha ke gore molatofatso wa bobedi ka na letšatši lewe o be a na le watch ya gage.
Ah, ka gopola ngabe ke e bone.
I do not recall. I would have seen it.
Angikhumbuli-ke umbuzo uthi-ke ngabe uMr. Ntanzi-ke wayefake iwashi ngalelo langa lelo, angikhumbuli-ke ngabe ngalibona.
All right.
Now, but the point is, in terms of your procedures, is it allowed that a detained person must have a watch, Rolex watch, for instance?
Jwale go ya ka melao ya lena motho e leng gore yena o golegile o swanetse molao wa dumela gore a ka ba le watch na.
Watch tshwanetse e dule ka gare ga bekana ya gona.
No, the watch is supposed to be kept in its bag.
Mehluleli yabuza ukuthi ngokwemithetho-ke khona-ke noma enayo emaphoyiseni umuntu oboshiwe uvumelekile yini ukuthi-ke alifake-ke iwashi noma-ke i-Rolex-ke cha fanele ukuthi-ke lihlaleke esikhwameni.
Kwa church office bayalokela beke enyane le number usayina lo form le SAP22.
At the charge office, a watch would be kept in a small bag, and he would also sign a form, and that form is SAP22.
Futhi-ke khona-ke e-charge office-ke ila khona-ke abazoyifaka esikhwameni esithize leyo form noma le futhi-ke la kuzofanele kuneform ekufanele ayisayinde-ke yena ebizwa ngokuthi SAP22.
This question is not only about the watch per se. It's not relating to the watch. Was there any source where accused number 2 would know that at this particular time, the time was like this, was 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock?
Ba re potso e ga se gore ba botšiša fela ka sešupanako ba botšiša gore mohlomong e gona ntho e nngwe ye e leng gore e be e ka kgona gore molatofatso a kgone go bona gore ka nako eke e be setse e le 12 e be setse e le 1 e be setse e le nako mang e gona ntho e nngwe e leng gore mohlomong o be a kgona go bona ka yona
Ka be putušana le be le bjalo. Yena ya go tseba nako tla botšiša rena because ana watch.
Initially, maybe that is how you should have placed your question, my lord, Mr. Mgomezulu, because if he would want to know the time, he would then ask us, as he did not have a watch.
Uthi-ke kumele lo mbuzo awukho mayela nje newashi ukuthi wayeligqokile-ke kodwa-ke ingabe khona yini la khona-ke ukuthi wayezokwazi ukuthi manje isikhathi u-1 sisendaweni ethize manje isikhathi u-12 sisendaweni ethize ngabe-ke mhlawumbe kwaseqaleni-ke umbuzo lowo ubuze kanjalo uma kuwukuthi-ke kwakunesidingo sokuthi azi isikhathi lokho wayezokubuza kuthina-ka nanjengoba iwashi wayengenalo
Apele mo koloing ona le mo ona go le watch ona e loro o gona o dutse botsa ka itlhodimela a sa re botse.
And as well, in the car, there is a watch that is displayed. So if he was sitting on a proper way, he would have able to see the watch even without asking us.
Futhi-ke emotweni-ke esasihamba ngayo-ke kunala khona-ke kunesikhathi esitshengiswa khona-ke uma kuwukuthi asithi-ke wayehlezi kahle-ke noma ehlezi endaweni awayengathi aboneke wayengasibona isikhathi lapho engasibuzanga thina.
Okay. 0025. So, driving entry Germiston Elandsfontein.
Bare nako yela ya 0025 le be le kgwetša le le mo N3 freeway Elandsfontein.
ke nnete
That is correct.
So iqiniswa ukuthi ngo-0025 yahamba-ke imoto sise-N3 freeway e-Ellersfontein.
0026 still driving Jamestown Elands Haven.
Gape le 0026 le be le santse le kgweetsa le le mo Jamestown Elands Haven.
ke nnete
That is correct.
Ngo-0026 sahamba-ke sikuyona-ke u-N12 e-Elands Haven eJamestown.
0028 you joined N12. Basole.
0028 ke ge lena le tsena mo N12.
ke nnete
That is correct.
Nokuthi-ke ngo-0028 sasesijoyina-ke u-N12 kuyiqiniso.
ke nnete
You
That is
passed, yes, you passed Glen Eagles, Winchester,
Lafeta, Glen Eagles, le Winchester,
Eraton,
le Eraton.
ke nnete
That is correct.
Kuyiqiniso-ke sandlula i-Glen Eagles, Winchester, i-Eraton.
In 10 minutes thereafter, ignition was off.
Metsotso ya lesome ka moraga mo weke mo e leng gore
At
koloi
guys,
e ile ya timiwa
at guys Gibson,
mo
in
tulong
Eraton,
ye e bitswang Guy Gidstein Avenue mo Eraton.
ke nnete
That is correct.
Kuyiqiniso-ke nokuthi-ke kwimizuzu-ke eyishumi emuva kwalokho-ke imoto yaseyicishwa-ke eduze-ke nendawo ebizwa ngokuthi yi-Guy Gidstein Avenue e-Eraton.
at 0048, then start up there and you started to drive.
E re ge nako e le metsotso ye masome nne šupa ke mo e leng gore koloi e ile ya dumišwa
Back to Pretoria.
le tšwela pele le kgweetša le ya Pretoria.
ke nnete
That is correct.
Nokuthi-ke ngo-0047 imoto yadunyiswa futhi-ke isiyabuya-ke manje-ke buyela ePretoria.
00555 at Ben Notier. You were still driving on them.
Ke mo e leng gore le be le santse le kgweetša le metsotso ye metlhano pele ga iri ya pele le kgweetša le le mo Ben Notier.
ke nnete
That is correct.
Nokuthi kuyiqiniso ukuthi ngo-0055 yahamba-ke imoto ihamba eBen Notier.
0057, speed violation. The car had a problem. 0057, speed violation.
Ka nako ele ya 0057 e bontšha gore koloi e ile ya tshela lebelo e be e santse e be e na le bothata ka nako ewe
ka ge šetse ke boletse gore e sa le ya bleediwa ka tšhela le oile e be šetse sepola monate ebile bošego after midnight engine e cooler down go cool koloi sepola botse
As I have explained that the vehicle was bleeded and after midnight the vehicle cools down and that is when it is able to run smoothly.
Lana-ke ummeli umtshengisake ukuthi-ke isikhathi u-0057 kuyatshengiswa-ke ukuthi nala khona weqa isivinini. Uthi besengishilo-ke ngaphambili ukuthi-ke imoto lena yayise itholiwe-ke ukuthi-ke ibhekwe ibleediwe-ke noma ikhishwe-ke i-oil noma ifakiwe futhi i-oil-ke uzoqaphela-ke ukuthi isikhathi manje useshayile-ke u-12 wasebusuku-ke imoto iye yathola ukuthi-ke iphola noma ikhule down-ke manje iyayihambela nje kamnandi.
So you were driving at Moy Fontaine, N1.
Lena le be le kgweetša mo mmileng wa Moy Fountain mo N1.
ka ge avl e bontšha e
As the AVL reflects, yes,
Yebo-ke i-AVL itshengisa kanjalo ukuthi sasihamba umgwaqo-ke iMoy Fontaine.
A minute to 1 o'clock, still driving towards Pretoria.
motsotso ka pele ga iri ya pele bošego gare ke ge le gore lena le be le santse le kgweetša le ya Pretoria.
ke nnete
That is correct.
Kuyiqiniso-ke ukuthi-ke umzuzu nje owodwa libumbaneke eloqala ihora entathabusa-ke ukuthi
ya re ge e re 0146
You see that?
le bona
Yes, ke a bona.
la fihla Pretoria.
Ethi ke uma isikhathi ke sesithi 0146 niyafika ke ePitori, yebo ngiyabona lokho.
0151 Access Idle Benfelion Street.
Ka 0151 ke ge le gore koloi e a duma mo Benfelion Street
Pretoria.
mo Pretoria.
Ke mo Pretoria North SAPS.
Yes, that is Pretoria, not SAPS.
Iyasho ke ukuthi ngo 0151 ke imoto iyaduma ke access idle eBenfelion noma eduze kweBenfelion Pretoria North, mephendula ke yebo so police station yase Pretoria North.
A minute past 2, you were at Hell Divet.
Motsotso ka moraga iri ya bobedi lebeletse le mo Ger Divet.
Nnete.
That is correct.
Uyiqiniso ukuthi ngomzuzu owodwa sekumbeneke elesibili ihora ndathakusake sasiseduze ke neGert de Wet ePretoria North.
6 minutes past 2, early hours, Emily Hope House Avenue.
Metsotso ye tshela ka moraga iri ya bobedi ka masa belele mo kgauswe le Emily Hope House Avenue mo Pretoria.
Nnete.
That is correct.
Uyiqiniso ukuthi imizuzu u6 ke emuva ko2 ke sise eduze kwase Emily Hope House Avenue ePretoria North.
14 minutes past 2, early hours in the morning, near Theron. Is it the street? Theron Street.
Tron.
Ka masa ka metsotso ye lesome nne ka mora iri ya bobedi ke ge le gore lena le kgauswe le Terry Aaron Milengwe gona mo Pretoria.
Nnete.
That is correct.
Iyasho ke ukuthi imizuzu u14 ke emuva kwensimbi yayo ishayileke yesibili seduze ke kwaso istrata iDani Tron Street ePretoria North.
Thank you, ma'am. 19 past 2, GPS unlocked at the same place.
Metsotso ye lesome senyane ka mora iri ya bobedi ke ge le gore iri GPS unlocked gona tulong ye uwe.
Nnete.
That is correct.
Iyasho ke ukuthi ngemizuzu ke u19 eshayileke u2 isona ke leso strato leso ke iGPS unlock.
2:30 in the morning, ignition off, same Emily Hope House as per exhibit MM, booked in Nongoma cars number 163. That's the exhibit MM. It's not reflecting there.
Yale ke mo ileng gore metsotso ya masome tharo ka moraga iri ya bobedi ka masa ke ge le gore koloi ya tima gona tulong ye uwe ya Emily Hope House Avenue mo Pretoria North.
Nnete.
That is correct.
Yebo kweqiniso ukuthi uma ethi 2:30 ke imoto iyacishwa ke useduze ke neEmily Hope House Avenue ePretoria.
That's when accused number 2 was booked in.
Yes.
Yes.
Ila khona ke umsolo wesibili ke manje esebukwa ke amagama efakwa ke khona lapho.
At 25 to 3, that's when you charge accused number 2 for Nongoma case murder 163 of 10 2018.
Nnete.
That is correct.
Kuyiqiniso ke ukuthi ngayo u25 to 3 ila khona manje ke esethweswa icala ke umsolo wesibili kulona ke icala leli la kwaNongoma elokubulala.
At 10 to 4. At 10 to 4. What day was that?
Bare metsotso ye lesome ka pele ga iri ya
What
bone.
date was it?
E be
What
le-
date was it?
Date ye ife
The 19th of June 2020.
19 of June 2020.
Ngaye-ke u-10 to 4 ongibuza ngayo kwakungazo-ke iyi-19 kuyena-ke uNhlangulana ku-2020.
I'll confirm that one. It's 10 to 5. That's when you booked again, accused number 2.
Bare ka 10 to 5 ke mo eleng gore le na lide la booka molatofatso wa bobedi gape
Out to
lebe
Phosphorus
le
court.
montsha le moisha kgorong ya Phosphorus. That is correct.
Kuyiqiniso-ke ukuthi isikhathi-ke kwaku-10 to 5 la kuphinde damkhipha khona-ke noma ngimbuka out khona-ke eya-ke enkantolo yase-Phosphorus.
When you book him out, I think this is the third time if I'm not mistaken. Do you still have regard of human dignity in terms of the rights of the accused? Do you still have regards to human dignity? Did you sleep all these hours comfortably or otherwise? Did you have regard of his right to human dignity?
Ba re ge lebe le ile la nagana jwalo ka ga be le setse le mo booka le montsha e be la ga kgetlo la boraro mo e leng gore le na le ile la nagana na ka ditokelo tša gage tša botho.
Ka ge ke tlhalositše ke re o ba robala le mo koloing re mo swere botse ke tshepa gore ditokelo tša ge tša botho be re mfa dijo re mo tlhokomela re be re di šeetša kudu.
As I have explained that as we were in the vehicle, he would fall asleep and we were protecting his human dignity rights as we were also taking care of him. We took care of those rights as well, my lord.
Mina ngifisa ukwazi-ke ukuthi mase umkhipha-ke manje-ke ngalo 10 to 3 uma ngenza iphutha-ke kwakuseyihlandla lesithathu-ke manje ingabe yini amalungelo akhe ngokuphathelene-ke nesithunzi sobuntu noma sokuthi abe umuntu-ke nanisibhekile noma nanikunakile yini lokho ngoba-ke lo muntu akalelanga nihambe naye onke lamahora ngicabanga-ke kanjalo-ke ukuthi wayeba nesikhathi-ke nasemotweni-ke sasimphethe nje kahle-ke elala-ke nasemotweni nangenkathi futhi-ke sinikeza noma simphake ukudla ngicabanga ukuthi naloko futhi kwakuwukuthi-ke amalungelo akhe noma-ke isithunzi sakhe sokuthi abe umuntu sisibhekile.
My lord, I submit that it will be a convenient time to attend for a long.
That's okay.
It's 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Let's go.
Okay, it's 2 o'clock, we'll come back.